It's a white paper. It's pretty detailed, and a lot of assertions that are being made by the Finance Ministry. The broad headline being that how India was taken from a state of being counted amongst the fragile 5 economies in the world to one of the fastest growing economies. And a lot of the decisions of the 10-year period of the UPA coming under the focus of this paper. What's your headline take from this paper and the content that it has released today?
Thanks, Siddharth, for having me here. And first thing I must comment on is the very high quality, the professional quality of the white paper itself. It marshals a lot of data across the entire range of the economy and over the years, and does a very good job of comparing the 10 years under the UPA versus the 10 years now under under Prime Minister Modi's government. For me, the sort of 4 big highlights are that the government in 2014 found a huge amount of the economy in a great amount of macroeconomic distress, if you like, because it was a member of the fragile 5. The fiscal deficit was out of hand. The current account deficit was rising and become very high. The reserves were going down. And the economic growth had started coming down as well. Now, from that point to achieve the kind of macroeconomic stability that we have at the moment today, with inflation at around 5%, with our reserves at more than 620 billion, current account deficit about 2% or less than that, and having given the independent responsibility to the Reserve Bank for targeted inflation control, I think has been one of the biggest achievement, if you like, of this government, which has made India a destination, a preferred destination for foreign investment, and as the managing director of the IMF said, a bright spark among the kind of global slowdown that you've seen. That's the first one. The second one, which is that following the philosophy of Deen Dayal Upadhyay ji and the Antyodaya philosophy, the government has done exceptionally well to target welfare measures to those at the bottom of the pyramid. Now that's because the Antyodaya philosophy talks about benefiting those who are last in the queue, and here again I think the transfer of more than 300 schemes to direct benefit transfers and the JAM Trinity, which the paper, by the way, admits starts in the UPA government with the introduction of Aadhaar and the opening of accounts there, but they took it to a completely different level, and so that you've got all those schemes going directly, and about 2,50,000 crores being saved, and plus the included in that for me is the empowerment of the women especially, and restoring the self-esteem of the women by the Nari Shakti Abhiyan, the use of the self-help groups to create Lakpati Didis, to create homes, 50% of which are now in the name of the women, household women leader, which gives them a lot more say in the household financial decisions. The Ujjwala Yojana, which has given them the gas connections and taken off the burden of collecting the firewood. And finally, Siddharth, is the amazing speed of infrastructure construction, which benefits both the poor and the common man, but more importantly, perhaps, reduces the logistics cost for the Indian companies to make them more globally competitive. So I think these are and the white paper does well to highlight these things in very clear terms, in both numerically and expose and in the description.